Hey everyone, I'm Heather and welcome back to my channel. So we are back today with I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. Last episode had a lot of stuff happen, and I believe we are out in the field exploring again. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so apparently we're not out in the field. I thought I was. Maybe that's what I intended to do, or maybe we got done doing it, because I clearly can't continue that. So I guess let's rest. That gives us stress, though. I was hoping that wouldn't. But we can relax in the lounge. You nestle into the cushions, close your eyes, and listen to music. You have an archive of over 100 years of music to choose from, but still, you wonder what new songs they're writing these days, 10 million light years away from on Earth. The only new music you've heard is when the adults have come up with some new space shanty. It's nice, good music for harmonizing with your friends as you work, but it's not really something you want in your ears all the time. Okay. Well, I could get rid of this. I mean, it helps that... Well, I guess let's do it. Let's forget that one. Okay, so it's early pollen. Who... that's not what I'm trying to... I was trying to get there, but I'm trying to do this one. We don't know his birthday. We don't know her birthday. We do know hers. Hers is late wet. Dis's would be the same. And hers is early wet. So we're trying to find Cal and Anemone. I keep giving Anemone something. Let's give her one of these. Okay, it was not her birthday either. I kind of want to go exploring. Okay, it's a new month, so things should be different, I would think. But we're going pretty far, so maybe not. I guess let's go for this one. After all, there's a medicinal herb we can get. The Unisaur. Okay, we've done this before. Okay. That should give it a better thing. Yeah. I mean, we probably would have been better without this, though, so let's take that. No, we'll leave it because we'll still have that card. It's not going to give us a new card. And we got another one of those same cards, so I don't care for that. How about 2? 2, 2... and 3. Okay, so let's do you, 2, 3, 5, and 5. And I think that's just as good as we could do. There. But we got our perception up, so perception just seems to be the biggest one we have just from doing all this. Okay. Everything is good. It pees like a crystal waterfall. And all that. Okay. There's Dis. We could talk to Dis again. I can't do anything without doing that. So let's try it. You find Dis sitting on a large flat rock on a hilltop, eating a sandwich and looking totally at home far from the colony walls. Join him quietly. You sit down next to Dis and get out your own lunch, some soy cheese cubes and crackers from the cafeteria. You listen to the jungle sounds and think how nice it is just to be free, and in the open, and not confined to a tiny box hurtling through space. Then, quite out of the blue, the rock you're both sitting on stands up and starts walking down the hill. Oh, okay. You crouch and look over the edge of the rock. You're a couple meters off the ground, balancing on spindly legs like a spider. 8, 10 of them, evenly spaced. You realize the rock also has eyes at regular points, which you'd mistaken for shiny black pebbles embedded in the stone. One of them swivels up to stare at you. You gulp and try not to scream. Dis gets shakily to his feet, trying to keep his balance as the creature under you slowly clambers forward. He grabs your hand to help you up. Okay. It is an easy challenge, but we have low volume stuff. Okay, so let's do... one, maybe 2. It's not great, but I think that might be the best we can get on that one. 0, 2, 2, and maybe 3. Okay, we should be able to get the last 8 anyway. So 0, 1, 4, 5. That was terrible. This probably still needs to go like that. That would be better. And then that. Okay, so our bravery has gone up. You swallow hard and control your fear. Barely. Actually, this is biologically fascinating. You're too busy taking mental notes about this creature's anatomy and behavior to worry about your own safety. It totters along, using its long legs to pick its way through the bushes in uneven terrain. It must have had its legs curled up under its body earlier to perfectly camouflage itself as a rock. After a minute, the creature crouches down to look at something, and the two of you jump off. You're impressed that Dis kept his cool, and you tell him so. Actually, he says, I was kind of freaking out inside. You laugh and say you were too. It's funny. Dis might suck with people, but is kind of a badass when it comes to non-people things. Let's keep exploring. Okay, I guess talking to him gets us a quicker way to go home than having to walk all the way back. Some farmland has spilled outside the walls. The fields don't look like they're doing very well. We have come across this before, so we could ignore it or try to plant something. Let's just ignore it. It didn't do anything last time. I would like to get further. The muck hides interesting bugs and other treasure. For those willing to put their hands down in the right holes, are you? Let's peek. Looks dark. Look closer. You stuck your hand down enough holes to know this. This one seems occupied. We should not. Let's not. I want to try it someday, but not today, because I want to go further. Okay, so we have done this one as well. So practice spitting seeds. Let's do it. I don't know what that does for us, but I'm trying to go further than I have previously. I don't know if I can cut through anywhere. It does not look like it. Only right there. I could just take on this one more, or I could go back so I could do something else next time. We might do that, because I got a bunch of medicinal herbs. Okay. Let's go home. Your dad comes back from work one day looking seriously under the weather. He's pale with deep circles under his eyes, and he keeps sneezing. It's fine, he insists. It's just all this pollen in the air. It's skunking up the old air tubes. Do you remember hay fever, Flulu? We always got it back on Earth, too. Your mom frowns and crosses her arms. We did, she agrees, so why isn't it bothering me? You're a lot tougher than me, sweet pea, your dad says, and your mom rolls her eyes. I'm sure I just have to get used to it, like you did, he continues. Maybe I'll go for a stroll outside the gates later. Really get a good lungful of the stuff. I'll feel bad for a few weeks, but after that, I'll be fine. Your mom raises both eyebrows. Outside the gates? You? Your dad shrugs. Then he falls into his fit of sneezing and can't answer. Your mom directs him to go lie down on their bed. You need rest, not machismo, she scolds him. I don't have a achoo, your dad sneezes, a macho bone in my body, foo-foo. And I have to fertilize the corn and the pixie beans this week. Uh-huh, your mom grunts. Your dad pulls a handkerchief from his pocket and sneezes into it a few times. Big yelling honk sneezes that echo through your whole quarters. He pulls it away from his face and you can tell that something is wrong. Huh? Your dad says weakly, holding the handkerchief away from his face. It's bright fuchsia pink and glittering in the light. That's weird. Then his eyes roll back in his head, his knees buckle, and your mom yells for you to call Instance. Chief Engineer Instance takes your dad's vitals and gives him a cursory look over, but she seems satisfied with what she sees without having to do a thorough examination. The explorers have started calling this the shimmer, she says, shining a light down your dad's throat. He's looking a little better, but not much. It's an airborne environmental toxin, likely in the pollen fog. Will he be okay? It doesn't seem to cause long-term damage to the body, Instance explains. She gestures in the air, making notes on her hollow eye that only she can see. I've been tracking its effects for 3 seasons now. The toxin is flushed out of the body after 3 to 5 days, and it's not contagious. She looks down at your father. What that means for you, geranium? Since you're particularly susceptible to the toxin, you should be taking better pains to avoid exposure. If you must go outside during pollen, use a respirator. Your dad smiles weakly. You got it, boss, he says. Your mom smiles and puts her hand over his. As your literal boss, I'm ordering you not to come into work for the rest of the week, she says. You're on strict bed rest. She leans in to touch her forehead to his. They stay like that, smiling with relief. Even after 1 day of bed rest, your dad is looking a lot better. He's clearly anxious to get back out into the fields. You're gonna love this new crop, Heather. It's called Pixie Bean. They glow in the dark. He's already pulling on his boots. The field looks so beautiful at night. I'm happy we finally found something that would actually grow here that isn't soy, and more soy. I'm happy too. Okay, early pollen. Now it's mid-pollen, and it's super pollen-y. New perk. Extra card draw. Draw an extra card at the start of the challenge. Effect stack. Okay, good. That's good. Okay, anyone need anything? Okay. So it looks like only Tangent has something going on. Your holopalm pulses with a message from Tange. Hello, Heather. If you're not occupied, could I ask you for your assistance in the lab? Thank you in advance, Tangent. Typical Tange. But her asking for help is something so rare that you can't help but head over right away. You find her hunched over a spectrometer, making notes on a holoscreen. Oh, you're here, she says, blinking rapidly. She looks like she's been awake for days, wrinkled, a little shiny, and with the wild-eyed look of someone who needs a cup of blep tea. How can I help? I'm researching the shimmer, the respiratory illness some people report during pollen, she says. I'm loath to admit it, but I need your assistance. She takes 4 vials with swabs inside and puts them into your hands. I need recent saliva samples from both you and your father. There must be a reason why he's so susceptible to the shimmer and you're not. You share half of your genetic code with him. There must be some marker we can compare between the 2 samples. Then, she continues, pulling another vial from a rack of test tubes, administer this to yourselves, wait 3 days, and take the samples again. The test should be able to determine if anything in your body chemistry has changed. Tange looks at you very seriously, cutting through her bleary expression. There's something going on here, she whispers. Something really, really big. I've begun to realize. This is about more than just curing a disease. She squeezes your hand so hard it almost hurts. Unlocking the secrets of the shimmer, who it affects, and why. It could lead to a greater understanding of all life on Vertumna. And knowledge is more than power, Heather. It's control. Okay. Thank you, Tange says. And it looks like it will affect something, because there are 2 question marks. Maybe it changes relationships elsewhere? I've been researching so hard, I think my eyes are going to fall out of my head. And for what? Well, the end of the debilitating disease is a pretty good reason, but Tange just shakes her head at herself before you can answer. We're at a disadvantage here, she mutters. We're fighting blind. We need to understand this planet if we're going to get it under our control. Okay. So, I'm going to do the animal one again. I think that's defense training. Anemone loves her big brother Calm. When it's his turn to teach the class, she's more focused than ever. You learn a lot from Calm, and from Anemone too. You never had any siblings other than everyone you grew up with in the creche, so watching her idolize her big brother is kind of funny. Okay. Unfortunately, we need to get rid of that, and we need to maybe put those right here. Oh, that gives me 10 stress. Okay. 5. 3. That's probably not great, because it gave us a -1. 2, but that did give us a +2. And we'll do a 1. Okay. Yeah, I got the +10 stress, so unfortunately we definitely need to rest. Alright. Anything going on here? I don't know if I actually have to talk to my dad about that, though. Your dad sneezes and wipes his nose with a handkerchief. Whew, this pollen, he says, his voice thick with congestion. Someday, I'm going to get used to this. We cannot help him because we do not have 20. I think we might have 10, though. I do need some time off. I know it. Does this tell me, or do I have to go elsewhere? I have 17. So I guess if that float cow thing only needed 10, I now have that. I cannot sneak out. Oh, I thought I could lay on the thing, but I guess I can't today. Oh no, maybe that was this. Relax on the walls. Let's do it. Most of the time you're alone up here, except for the occasional passing guard. But sometimes you're joined by Dis. He barely looks up at you as you plop down and kick your feet through the railing and over the edge. He looks like he's doodling on his holopad. You see all sorts of plants, mushrooms, little creatures with too many eyes or too many legs. He has a selection of plant samples at his side, like artist paintbrushes laid out on a towel. He must be quite the junior botanist. He's not drawing plants right now, though. He's actually drawing a person, and not anyone you recognize from the colony. They have long dark hair and a pointed face, and are covered from neck to toe with floaty black robes. They look neat. You wonder if they're Dis's original character or something, like his super cool goth self-insert. That looks nice. Dis smiles shyly, but doesn't look away from his drawing. Thanks, he mumbles. I'm not very good at drawing him yet. Oh, good. I've been hoping to get rid of 0-point cards. We've been getting far too many of them lately. And while they do help in, like, getting the same color, they're becoming a problem for actually getting points. Early dust. I feel like someone... No, that's not what we're doing. I felt like someone had an early dust birthday. Okay, there we are. I can't even remember what I've talked to her about, though. Late wet. And so the other one was early wet. I don't know, I could try giving him stuff. Cal is lying in the scrub grass at the edge of the garden, staring up at the sky. He blinks at you as your shadow passes over him. Hey, Heather, he says, smiling around the stalk of grass between his teeth. You ever take some time and appreciate this place? We got sky and clouds and rain and wind. After growing up on the Strato, it all seems pretty magical. Okay, I maybe would give him a medicinal herb. Neat. Okay, so that is not his birthday. I'm trying to find his birthday. I'm not trying to find... I'm not really trying to give them gifts. You find Dis sitting at the mouth of one of the wall's drainage sewers. In wet season, excess rainwater is diverted out here so it doesn't flood the inside of the walls. In the meantime, it looks like Dis has set up a little base here with pillows and a stash of snacks. His alien communication device hisses with static. He looks up from his holoscreen as you pop your head inside the drain. Hey, Heather, he says quietly, before going back to the game he'd been playing. What are you playing? You haven't heard of it, he says without looking up. I made it myself. You squeeze in the narrow drain and sit down next to Dis. On his holopalm is a picture of Mars, and you watch him drag a match from the sidebar and drop it on her face. Little animated flames wiggle all over the picture, leaving parts of it looking charred. It's pretty crude, but you think you get the point. What happened with Mars? Where did you learn how to do that? It's pretty simple, Dis says. The light from his holoscreen reflects his eyes as he looks at you in the gloom. People on Earth used to make this kind of stuff all the time, and I have a lot of time to learn new things. What happened with Mars? Dis shrugs. Same thing that always happens, he says. He resets the game and drags a bomb from the sidebar onto the picture of Mars. It explodes and the picture disintegrates. She booked my name down for every appointment with the nanoprinter because she thinks my clothes are always torn up and dirty all the time, he continues. So I got in trouble for wasting resources. I tried to tell them it was her, but Mars never gets in trouble. Everyone likes her, he mumbles. But it's fine. I don't need anyone to like me. I don't care if they hate me. I hate them. Oh, I see. Dis goes back to playing his game, content not to talk to you. I want to try. Sure, Dis replies. He links his holopalm to yours, and you feel the haptics pulse as the game files transfer. You open the game and are presented with an option. Whose picture do you choose? Mars. But I wonder if that's gonna, cause problems. Let's do Mars. You load up a picture of Mars. Screw her. She's so bossy and mean. Dis is right. She's the worst. I personally don't like her that much. You drag a knife from the toolbox onto the picture. Thwunk, right through her face. It feels good. In a weird way. You probably shouldn't think about that too hard. You spend a few hours letting off steam with Diz, loading different pictures of your classmates and commiserating about life in the colony. After a while, he even starts to smile a little bit. I don't really want to hurt anyone, Diz confides in you. Sometimes it feels like I have so many angry thoughts inside my head that there's no room for anything else. He turns off his holopalm and looks down at his hands. Even if it makes me feel kind of gross after, it's better than feeling numb. Okay. There is something. Let's check with Anemone, because we're looking for her birthday. Here we go. I'll give her a medicinal herb. It is my birthday this week. Okay, so we got her birthday. The only one we don't have is Cal. I guess we can work on his. But I think that will be next time. We are now 100% full, so we need to decide what we want to do. I'm close to being level 20 on the animals, so I may continue with that, so we can help with the animals. But yeah, that's going to be everything for this time, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!